Hey, there we go, guys. How's it going? My name is Aria Black. Check out that trailer. How cool was that? Yeah, to be fair, a quick little teaser. I like it. It's got me wanting more. Bear with me 1 second. Technical issues. You know how it is on this show. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming back for another episode of Let's Talk. So, if you remember last week, we did the call-in special, and that did really well. I'm still so grateful for everyone who came and joined in with that one. It was good to see it was a decent success. Like I said on that episode, I won't be doing these solo shows for a little bit, just while I'm in the end, building up to the end of my Taylor's campaign. So while I'm working on that, I won't be doing much of these individual shows. So this is the last one for a while because we had this booked in advance. You can join us next week. We'll be doing the second call-in special, and I hope to see maybe some of the people who came on last time, but a whole bunch of new creators as well to show us their brand new projects and what's going on in the Comicsgate scene. So anyway, let's check the chat real quick. We've got Beyond Time, Mr. John Harvey. He's our special guest today. We've had him on the show, so this is technically like a Let's Talk Part 2, but he's got a brand new book to tell us about. So without further ado, let's bring on John. How you doing, mate?
Doing well, man. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, hey, I appreciate you having me on. I didn't realize this was going to be the last of like the kind of one-on-one, so I'm kind of humbled by that, man. Thank you very much.
That's cool. It's just the campaigns come in. It's almost launch time. We'll be launching in end of June, start of July, and I'm responsible for everything on it. I'm running the campaign, writing the book, drawing the book, I'm doing everything. So it's like these Saturday shows are a lot of work to put together.
Yeah.
To arrange, just booking people is hard enough for me because I get so confused with time zones and all that. So I found it easier, like I did last week. I just said, right, everyone, I'm going to be on at 8. Call in if you want to talk about your book.
Exactly. You're like, I'm at 8 UK time. Figure it out.
Yeah. So so everyone watching, that's the plan for now. But as soon as Taylor's is done, we'll be back to the regular, your regular scheduled programming. So how have you been since the last time I spoke to you? What have you been up to?
So since then, I've been fulfilling Magna.
Yeah.
So Magna, for the most part, is pretty much fulfilled. There's just a couple more books that need to go out. We're waiting on commissions. So I've got some commissions, I think about 9 more commissions that need to be completed. And then I'll get them all sent to me, and then I'll send them out to everybody. So those are unfortunately, those are kind of the last backers. It's like they got like the biggest thing, and they're the ones waiting for their book still because I want to send it along with the commission.
Yeah.
So
what is the commission? Is it artwork, I assume?
So basically, they got to right there, that one, the Marcio Abreu commission. There were 10 of those, and he is drawing pencil and ink of any character of their choosing. So a number of people had, and Rod has been commissioned to do 2 of them as well, who's the artist on Black Tiger. And basically, majority of folks have picked original characters, and they just gave references because they'd like to see, hey, I'd love to see my character drawn by Rod or my character drawn by Marcio. So some pretty cool stuff, man. That's one thing that's kind of fun. I'm kind of being privy to seeing what people's commissions are going to look like. I'm like, oh, they're going to be happy. They're going to be really happy with this. Just got to get in their hands.
Let me go to the chat quick because Dave showed up. How you doing, Dave?
Dave, how you going? Eric, my man, yes.
He got one of those commissions.
Yes, sir. And Eric's commission has actually been completed. I've actually seen his. I've seen a high-res email version of it. He's going to be a happy man.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let me say, Eric, thank you for subscribing earlier. I saw the notification. I saw you sharing my post on Twitter. I appreciate the support. So Magna's done really well. Look at that number. That is nice. 255 backers, 7,500 Great British pounds. That is amazing, my friend.
That is amazing, and I'm just grateful to everybody and just getting the books in everybody's hands. Ultimately that's it at the end of the day. I mean, as you're seeing, it's like campaigns are a bunch of different jobs.
Yeah.
It's you have the pre-campaign stuff, then you got the campaign running, and then you got the fulfillment.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of treat them almost like they're 3 jobs in and of themselves that need to be done.
I was doing this sort of self-publishing thing for a while because I was releasing tailors on eBay. So I'd like sell a book and then I'd print it out myself, put it together, send it. So I've sort of done the fulfillment side, but on a much smaller scale because there wasn't a whole lot of traction on eBay. But I really enjoy doing it. Do you get that same sort of buzz fulfilling Magna?
I do, because like you got to shift gears to get into fulfillment, but there's nothing better than getting the stuff actually into people's hands.
Yeah.
Because you're like, that's the whole point of this. At the end of the day, is people are backing, and then people actually get the content. They actually get the books. They get the stuff. And when you put it in people's hands, you're like, you know what? That's what this is all about.
Yeah. Today I woke up and I checked Twitter because I'm addicted and it's the first thing I look at every single day. I checked Twitter and I see a whole bunch of pictures, people getting Magna show up in the post. That's gotta feel good,
Yeah, and I think that's for everybody that creates a campaign. There's nothing better than when you see people actually getting the book. I received my book. You're like, yes, yes.
Have you had many responses from it? What have people said about it?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've gotten some very good responses with regards to the book. It's one of those things where I think with any comic book, you have to just be ready to go along for the ride.
Yeah.
So it's like, one of the guys said like, I would have done it differently, but I enjoyed it. At the end of the day, I want you to enjoy it. There's no 2 people that are going to write the story the same. So like when I go into comics, I go into comics a little bit differently. I don't really go into comics like fan fiction. I go into a comic just like, okay, what are they going to do? Or if a character in a certain situation, I'm not so much thinking like, what would I do to get this character out of this situation? I'm more in there like, I want to see what this creative team is going to do.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, that's the fun of comics. Everybody's telling their story. So I'm kind of like, man, this is the situation. What are they going to do now? What are they going to do about that?
I like that style. That's a good idea, actually. Nice one. So Magna, the last Pantheon Volume 1, is in demand currently. How long are you going to leave this up?
We'll leave the commission available for probably another 4 days, and then we'll probably close the campaign. Definitely within 2 weeks, we're going to completely close the campaign.
Okay.
Because Black Tiger is going live on the 18th of May, and I pretty much want to have just about everything done. So it's like there'll be some last things that we'll need to fulfill. Like I probably won't have the commissions in by then, but I don't want to be doing a lot of Magna stuff when we're really focusing on Black Tiger. At that point, I just want to finish the fulfillment and move on to the next campaign.
Yeah. Get one done out of the way and then move on.
Yeah.
Good idea. Let me stop sharing this screen a second. I want to bring this up because I checked out your website today, and actually it's a really cool looking website. Let me
thank you.
Beyond Time. Let's bring this up. I noticed you have your books on display here.
Yes.
And so you can purchase them. I assume this is digital.
Yeah. So this is all on the web reader.
Yeah.
So the thing is this. I originally published Magna, and then I actually made like with the first 3 issues, I made some changes.
Right.
So the last 3 issues, even though the production is complete, we're actually making some changes, and it will eventually be reflected in the online, because anyone that gets a digital from me is actually getting access to the books via the reader that's on the website. So right now, it's kind of like version 1.0 of the last 3 issues, but the updated versions are going to be up there after we complete Black Tiger. We're going to go back and we're going to do these last 3 issues of Magna for the second volume.
Cool. So the 6 issues we see on screen, are they all part of volume 1?
Nope, just the first 3.
First 3.
So the first 3 issues are volume 1, and the second 3 issues will be volume 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I broke that up into 2 pieces. So like if you scroll up just a little bit, you'll see Black Tiger. That 172-page book, are all 6 of those issues.
Oh wow.
So I kind of it turned out well, but I don't know if I'm going to do another volume, at least in recent, soon, that's going to be quite as big as that. I think maybe 3 issues is big enough.
Okay.
Because that book, I think it turned out really well. It's just difficult to price because it's 172 pages, but people's expected price point is $25.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it makes it kind of, so like for this one, I did $25 for the 172 pages. But it's like, just from kind of an economic standpoint, it's a lot of pages for the 25 bucks. You know what I mean? And
releasing 2 parts. So
yeah.
So Black Tiger, I assume what we see on screen right now, because it has a different title to the Indiegogo. I assume this is a different story to what you're offering on the Indiegogo.
That is correct. So the Hidden Dragon is a sequel. It's the follow-up to the Legacy of Fury that you see on the screen right now. And it picks up right after this. So one of the things we're going to do with the campaign is we're going to provide a Catch Me Up. So for those that didn't get Legacy of Fury, it'll have a different cover, but Legacy of Fury will be available as a Catch Me Up. So you can get Legacy of Fury and the volume 1 of Hidden Dragon, which is basically 3 25-page issues plus some additional artwork.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Let me say hi to Dark Side. How you doing, dude?
Hey, Marinus, what's going on, buddy?
And why don't we move on and start talking about the main event for today, Black Tiger Hidden Dragon.
Cool.
Pressing all the wrong buttons on StreamYard today.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
Leave studio by mistake. Please don't panic. I'll be back.
It's like, man, I was that bad.
Here we go. Black Tiger Hidden Dragon. Let me say from the top. Cool title. Anything to do with Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon?
Well, you know what? All of my Black Tiger stories, they're always paying homages to a number of things. Definitely Hong Kong Kung Fu. I mean, whether it's, I put like in Legacy of Fury, definitely paying homages to the Kung Fu genre, but also a little bit to the kind of John Woo, Chow Yun-Fat genre. I just love those movies. So you'll see it in the titles. You'll see it in some of the things that happen in the books. Like with in this story, I introduce a new set of assassins. They're called the Five Fingers of Death, and they're kind of So it definitely has that kind of a flavor that you get from kind of like whether it's a little bit of an Enter the Dragon, where you have kind of the deadliest folks from all over the world, doing different forms of martial arts.
Okay.
So I love that. I mean, there's certain just rudimentary elements that you need to have in a Kung Fu story.
Yeah.
So we have some of those in here too.
I'm noticing the main event is the this lady. Is she the one called Black Tiger?
So you have Black Tiger there, and you have another character there who's called Onryu, which means, and I love like the Japanese translations or the English translations of Japanese names, because her name means revengeful ghost.
Right.
So I actually call her the Revengeful Ghost because it's just a great translation for her name. So you do see the Black Tiger in this panel. You see her against one of her nemesis there, the Revengeful Ghost, Onryu.
Right.
And then a little over there to your right there, you get to see a little snippet of the Five Fingers of Death. They're 5 of the deadliest people from across the world. You see an African wrestler. You see a British pugilist. You see a Filipino stick fighter. You see a shinobi, and then there's another character who is called the Touch of Death. So, yes.
Don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. From what you're telling me from the top, this looks and sounds great. I noticed you've got a thing for writing female leads here. Is that
Yeah.
a trend you're planning to carry on, or
Well,
is it more of just you've written the story and it's the character for the story?
so I definitely have, and I have a number of male and kind of female characters that I want to introduce into the universe. Um, the reason why this was really kind of apropos is because she's the first. So think of Black Tiger as a mantle across time. Over
Right.
millennia, there have been Black Tiger. Introducing her as the first female Black Tiger, or at least seemingly thought of as the first female Black Tiger. So when you get Legacy of Fury, you actually get to see some of the prior Black Tigers. So you actually get exposure to 4 different people that hold the mantle, but she's the first female. So I'm starting to tell more of her story. But then the thing that you'll see is in the next volume, the volume after this, Rod and I, we go a little bit further back into history, and we start telling more of the stories of prior Black Tigers as we help her unravel the mystery that she's trying to figure out about the death of her father and the dishonoring of her father, as she learns more about the Black Tiger, the kind of the heritage of the Black Tiger.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I was watching clips of the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie earlier, and in that movie they do the sort of generational thing where you see past Ghost Riders. I think that's a cool idea, regardless of what character it is. I like to see the past versions of Black Tiger.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Let me go to the chat quick. Infinity Comics is showing up. How you doing, dude? Nice to see you here. He says you're going to be on his channel soon.
That's right, brother.
Oh,
Hey,
very
Alejandro.
guys, check out his channel. He was on the show last week. Make sure you're on the show next week. Let's talk about Collins again. Yeah, check out his YouTube. He's doing really good.
He's got a great project too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Eric McIntyre says you really pulled different fighting styles from around the world to put in this book. I love it.
Yeah. So like if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see she's in the jungles of Brazil, and she's actually fighting a master of capoeira.
All right.
So she runs into a style that she hasn't seen before. She has a lot of difficulty with it, just because of kind of it's a very you always kind of think of like breakdancing when you see kind of the capoeira and those movements, and kind of the movements kind of really using the ground, and so it's a very different style that she comes up against, and she has a lot of problems with it. So for me, I've enjoyed martial arts as someone who's practiced some over time and watched way too many martial arts movies, and will continue to watch way too many martial arts movies because that's just who I am. I'm actually going to watch the new Mortal Kombat because that's who I am. I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm about to watch that today.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to go see it, but I really I'm sick of seeing films on my TV at the moment. I want to go to the cinema, but they're all closed in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
But how much research did that take on your part then? Were you just familiar with these sort of different styles, or did you have to look them up?
It still takes a lot of research. And the great thing is what I'll use, because they have them online, is there are a lot of books. So first, let me take a step back. So with Black Tiger, there are different variants of Black Tiger Kung Fu, and I studied one of those variants. And Sifu actually has he actually put together like this book, and I scanned the book, and it just shows all these different moves, all these different forms. So we try to integrate some of them, but you also kind of want to make it a little bit more of a dance at the same time. So it's like, because the moves are very practical, so we'll take a move and then we'll make it maybe more of a high kick as opposed to like a kick to the shin, just to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more, fun to watch, just kind of like a Hong Kong movie. Yeah. But also the same thing with like capoeira. Was able to find some great references for capoeira. Finding some references for different forms of martial arts, because you're going to see some karate in here, some kung fu. I haven't fully gone into the MMA yet, but you're going to see wrestling styles. You're going to see just straight, pugilist styles. You're going to see stick fighting. So just trying to honor that stuff, but at the same time still have the fun and the liberty of making a comic book.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm into martial arts myself, so I like the sort of the depths you've gone into it on this. So Black Tiger is giving me Chun-Li vibes in this pose. Is she? So I would think she's more focused on the kung fu side of things, even though
She is more focused on the kung fu side of things, but you know what? Chun-Li is awesome. I mean, it's like, you know, if I make a female kung fu character and don't pay any kind of homage or tribute to Chun-Li, that's blasphemous.
You know what? You just gave me an idea. Someone really needs to make a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter type game, but with CG characters.
Oh,
who would that be, right?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Black Tiger's gimmick would be like, the game randomly switches her fighting style, and you just have to adapt mid fight, something like that.
I like that. I like that.
I think that would be cool.
Somebody needs to make that game.
Hey, there's 6 people watching right now. One of you.
You're being commissioned.
Yeah. Eric agrees. He says that would be awesome.
Yeah, right. But like one of the things that's, you know, that's fun, but at the same time challenging, is we've developed a lot of fun characters with a lot of fun different styles, and you know, the most important thing is kind of the red thread through the story. So you don't want to get too far away from where you're trying to go with the story, but you're trying to show a lot of cool things as well. So, you know, one of the things I'm thinking about is maybe working with some other folks in the community and doing like just some one-off work. I really want to show more of the 5 Fingers of Death. I want to show more of the Revengeful Ghost. So I'm thinking about, you know, maybe working with some folks in the community and just seeing if we can start putting together some like maybe one-shots or some other pieces that maybe with some of these subsequent campaigns, it's like, hey, you know, I don't know what it is. We hit the stretch goal and you get an additional, you know, 12-page, you know, one-shot on, you know, whether it's Agumadu, who's the African wrestler, you know, or Escrimador, or maybe all 5 of them. And just, but at the end of the day, what I want to do now is just have fun and just start leveraging the community more, because there's so many talented people, and just see if we can put out more content and just kind of expand the world. And, you know, even some of these stories, you know, I don't have to write them either. You know, I've already been thinking about some people that I would like to write certain stories, you know, because I'm just like, I've built a very heavily international and, you know, cast, and I'm like, there's some people I bet you that would do a better job of writing some of the stories, especially the filler stories for some of these characters. So that's kind of where my head is at.
Oh, that's cool. Expanding the, what do you want to call it? Beyond verse, something like that?
Right now I'm calling it the Beyond Time universe, but who knows?
Hey, that's cool. I like mini comics and you know, one shots and all that. That sounds like a good idea to me. And those guys you have on that picture, the 5 Fingers of Death.
Yes.
They sound cool. I like this. What was this guy's name again?
Agumadu.
Yeah, whatever you just said. he looks like my favorite so far. He looks cool.
Oh man, I love him, and you'll get to see him more and more in action, doing all kinds of, you know, crazy wrestling moves on people. So, and then you have the pugilist there, and then you can't really see. You can only see really the hat of Touch of Death, and then you have the Screamador to the bottom left, and then the Shinobi kind of left up. And the guys they're dropping in on aren't pansies though. Those are because like there's a whole bunch of different gangs in this city. So those are they're Russian gangsters, but they're you know, kind of ex-Cold War super soldier type characters too. So they're bionic men. So think of like, you know, kind of Russia's own bionic program, you know, and they're basically bionic men from Russia.
Oh, cool. That's a bit of a like if you mix in this sort of sci-fi theme with this traditional martial arts theme, that's a bit of a cool combination. Like Magna had something like that going on. Are these related, Magna and Black Tiger? Are they in the same universe?
Yes, sir. They are in the same universe. So even though we're kind of treading out 2 very different stories, It's building out the same universe.
Yeah.
And you'll start to see a little bit more commonality in some of the elements, because Magna is definitely very much more of like kind of a high fantasy mythological story. You know, and it's also, that story is also set in 1942. So it's much more of a period piece story, but there was a Black Tiger at that time.
Yeah.
And then you'll learn more about Magna, and you'll learn more kind of about Magna over time as well. So it'll make for some fun opportunities to kind of cross-pollinate with these characters.
Okay, so we could expect at some point to see these two cross over.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be very cool. I want to see this girl fight a werewolf. That would be very cool.
That could definitely happen.
What's happening here with the dragon?
Well, you know what? You have to have a giant dragon in a mall.
Yeah.
Because it's just cool. But so basically, this is the not so hidden dragon, and the dragon, I won't tell how, but the dragon does manifest in the mall, and it is part of kind of a grander plan that's surrounding Black Tiger. She's starting to become more aware of. One of the things you learn in this series is, so her father died in the prior book, but he was also a cop, and then you learn in this book that posthumously he gets dishonorably discharged. You know, posthumously as a cop, and his name is run through the mud. So she starts to realize there is a complete kind of a plan here that's meant not just to dismantle the Black Tiger, but just to dismantle her family and her family legacy. So she's fighting, as in any good kung fu movie, she's fighting for honor. She's fighting for the honor of her family, for the name of her father, and she's looking to, you know, be the best Black Tiger that she can be.
Right. Hey, that's cool. Sounds good. Yeah, you know what? Everything you tell me about this story, it sounds right up my alley, because I love old martial arts flicks and all that, and Mortal Kombat, all that good stuff. What's the plan for Black Tiger then? When are we going to launch? How is the workflow going so far?
So in terms of workflow, the pencils and inks are all completed. There's about 13 pages that remain to be colored.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, the funny thing is, what I'm actually doing right now is kind of like, you see how on the website the stories are broken into issues. Well, the first issue of the 3 that make up the story, because there's 75 pages of story and then additional pages that make about 90 pages for the whole book. I'm actually sending to the letterer. I'm just going over a little bit more editing right now. So the first 25 pages will be fully lettered very soon. And then, you know, kind of, so by the time this launches on the 18th, a lot of the production will be done. And then after the 60-day campaign, you know, unless something happens, and stuff does happen, the plan is to have production completed. So kind of like with Magna, I can go right from, the end of the campaign, start fulfilling, and then once we're done with fulfillment, we can shut down the campaign and go on to the next Magna book.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Get most of the work done before we launch. That's
So my anticipation is probably for each book, it's probably like, then it kind of makes it maybe like every 4 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between, preparing for the campaign, running the campaign, fulfilling the campaign, and then going on to the next campaign.
That's cool. You know what? That's that's a relatively quick timeline when you think people like Ethan Van Sciver, for example, only does really 1 new book a year. So doing every 4 months, that's actually a really good and really quick timeline to get your books out. That's something I've got to work on, is doing it.
Well, but the thing is, you're doing everything.
I'm doing everything, yeah. But still, I think myself and a bunch of other creators could expand their own universes if we started thinking a bit more like yourself.
Well, I had to do it out of necessity, because if I drew the book, nobody would buy it. So so I had a different level of necessity, but I think that as I've gotten to know this community better, I think we can really leverage each other and help each other to get our books out in a faster time frame. Because we would all love to get a couple books out a year, 3 books out a year. That would be amazing. If we could all kind of hit that pace where we're at a place where it's like, Okay, cool. I don't have to wait another year for the next tail list. I can get that. If you can cut that in half, get it to me in 6 months. Eventually get to a place where you can get it to me in 4 months. That's awesome.
Yeah, really cool, dude. So that's actually a good segue. Tell me about your creative team. Who have you got working on the book?
All right, so the penciler and inker on this book is my dude, the man, the myth, Rod Super Luper. That's my guy. We've worked together for probably 17 years now.
Right.
So he knows that I'm insane, and he knows that I'm going to try to do all kinds of nonsense in the comic book.
Yeah.
So the good thing is he loves to be stretched. So sometimes he offers up things and I'm like, that's kind of nutty, but I'm always trying to push the envelope, because for me with comics, when I think about how I got into comics, so this is going to sound crazy. So like my mom used to go to this beauty shop, and these ladies, they had these old Fantastic Fours at her beauty shop.
Yeah.
So these are like, I mean, if I knew better, I would have been like, can I have these Fantastic Fours? I mean, because we're talking like Kirby Fantastic Fours.
Right.
But they were all tattered and jacked up and just but like these books were ridiculous, because in one Fantastic Four adventure, you go from the Baxter building, you go into the negative zone, you go to Latveria, and you be back. I mean, they didn't care. They go all over the place. And there was completely just unrestricted. And I said, man, how cool is that? That this is a medium. As I grew up, I realized that like you can't do this in any other medium.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
When you write your story, you think about this. You write your stories and you want to do all the things that you want to do. And then let's say somebody comes along and says, hey, Arya, you know what? I love your story, and I would love to make this into a TV show. Thought process totally different, because now you're thinking like, okay, I got to operate within a budget. I can't go to too many places. I can't have too many fights. I can't do too much.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of times as comic book writers and creators, we're writing for the wrong medium. I feel like we're writing for movies or we're writing for TV, and we're constraining ourselves. It's like, well, let me just kind of keep the budget in here just in case. But it's just like, enjoy the freedom of comics. You're going to draw that page regardless.
Yeah.
So whether you draw that page and you keep it all, in a coffee shop in London, or if you go all over the world, it's all the same for you, because you got to draw it. I mean, you got to get references and whatnot, but it's all the same.
You're exactly right. I feel like there's so many people who are just writing for the Netflix special, when like particularly in mainstream comics, you see that. But you're right. There's so much you can do in comic books that is just inaccessible in other mediums. So yeah, you're 100% right. Do we see that in this book? Are they all? Yeah. So
you're in Los Santos a lot, which is the kind of the hometown of Black Tiger. But the thing about Los Santos is, think about, Los Santos has a lot of, I wouldn't even say it's diverse. It has just a lot of different areas. So it has like a San Francisco-esque kind of Chinatown. It's got a little Italy, kind of like in New York. It's got all these crazy little pockets. It's got like a little Russia. So like all these places have their own feel. But I also do take us to Brazil. So you find yourselves in the jungles of Brazil. You find yourself, and I don't want to reveal too much about the villains and kind of where they are, but you do find yourself in other parts of the world. And that's the beauty of being able to tell stories the way that we're telling stories, is that wherever you want to be or need to be, you can be there.
Yeah.
So I was really just writing because this book really springboards off of Legacy of Fury, and it takes off running. And that's the way we wanted to do it. You know how it is when you're creating a story, you got to set the groundwork. You got to set the foundation. You got to let people kind of know where they are. But now that that's done, man, forget it. We're all over the place with this book.
Oh, cool. I tell you what, dude, once the campaign goes live and you've got some of the artwork up for us to see, I need you to bring Rod on so that we can go through more of the visuals. But is this all his artwork that we see on screen at the moment?
Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is his. The only thing that isn't his is the Chun-Li split kick.
Right.
That, and that's not even on this, but you saw it on the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That cover was by Eduardo Vieira.
Yeah.
So that was Eduardo's contribution, you know. And of course, yeah, it's totally a tribute to Chun-Li. She's doing a big old Chun-Li split kick. He gave her those crazy Chun-Li thighs. I was like, go ahead, dude. It's, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm totally not afraid or ashamed of you know, of that. I think Chun-Li's awesome.
It's all in the thighs. Thick thighs sell comics. Something like that.
You know, they not only do they save lives, but they do sell comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just noticed something. Maybe I should share the your website for this.
Of course.
Who do you on your the last Black Tiger campaign you had? I noticed the covers. They're all clearly the same artist. This very painterly style. Who is the artist that did these?
So Greg Horn is the artist that did all 6 of those covers.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just a good dude. He's a dude that I met a number of years ago back on the convention circuit. Yeah. And you know, this is the beauty of, I think, anything in comics in general, and especially now more than ever. People are more accessible now more than ever. And it's just like people are willing to talk. You know, I talk to him as a fan, and then I talk to him also as somebody that has, it's a tiny imprint, but I got my own imprint. And I just said, like, hey, listen, I want to know what your rate is, because this is what I'm thinking about doing. And this is, and what he told me was a lot different than what I expected to hear. Okay. Because you figure he's done all these Elektra covers and all these Emma Frost covers and all these kind of things. And the thing that he said to me was like, you know what? He's like, I like where you're going, and I like knowing where the story's headed. Because usually I'm just doing covers in thin air without any context to what's going on in the story. So these covers are each reflective of things that are happening in the story. They don't happen exactly like that. But it's like, but this is, I mean, it's like the first issue is kind of, you know, her reveal. She's starting to figure out, piece together her dad, who's a detective. He put the wallet down there and he's up there in the shadows. The second one is the reveal about the Black Tiger. I love how that was totally him. He's like, you know, just this, you know, revealing, and the suit's like mystical and floating there. And you see the conflict between her and her brother. And then in the 4th issue, her grandfather was still alive, but he's institutionalized. So he's one of the Black Tigers that you. So there's some revelation there, and then there's a great girl fight in issue 5. So you can see some of that there in issue 5, and then issue 6 is the showdown between brother and sister. And he basically kind of made a collage almost of these important things that were happening in these respective issues. And I was just like, dude. He's like, no. He's like, this is fun. Because I'm doing covers that are actually relevant to what's going on in the story. So you'd be surprised what motivates people, man.
The reason I brought this up, they look really great. Do you have the same guy working the cover on the Indiegogo release? So
for the first Indiegogo release, the interior artist Rod did a wraparound cover.
Right.
So we're going to do a Catch Me Up for Legacy of Fury.
Yeah.
And one of these, we're going to use one of these 6 covers.
Okay, cool.
For the cover of the Catch Me Up.
Because the reason I brought it up was I'm a big fan of SheHulk. Everyone who watches the show regularly knows that, because I'm.
And he had a great run on SheHulk covers too. Greg Horn.
Is this him?
Yeah.
Exactly.
He had a great run on SheHulk covers.
I saw those covers and I thought, it's got to be this. This is the same guy.
Same dude. Same dude.
Yeah, he is. What's his name? I don't remember.
His name is Greg Horn.
Greg Horn. Okay. Yeah. Greg Horn. He is very talented.
Yeah, he's an amazing dude.
Like, I'm a fan of Sensational She-Hulk, the John Byrne run.
Oh man, you know what? That book made me go back and get the Fantastic Four that the She-Hulk was in, and I mean, I rode with She-Hulk till the wheels fell off, because I was just like, the John Byrne She-Hulk was such a great, well-written story. She's breaking the fourth wall, but in a way that was cool, and just spectacular art. You know, just I love that story. I love what they did with her then, and I hate what they've done to her now.
Dave says Arya loves, and he spells my name wrong. Cheers, Dave. Arya has 3 loves: Fairy, She-Hulk, and Steve.
That's awesome.
You know what? I love these covers. Even though this isn't my version of She-Hulk, so I like the John Byrne version. These covers are fucking beautiful. I'm gonna have to let you pass my name on to him. Those I need
Very
to get
cool.
some in Taylor's.
Yeah, he's cool. He's good people too.
Yeah. Let me bring up your campaign one more time. Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Dude, this book looks great. I can't wait for the campaign to launch so we can see a bit more about it.
Thank you. So it's launching on the 18th.
On the 18th. Cool. Is there anything else our viewers need to know about this book before we close out the show?
Go ahead and sign up for the mailing list. It looks so the 18th we're going to launch, and it looks like on the 27th we're going to do a Black Tiger auction.
Right.
Because you got to understand, between the 2 books, Rod has, I don't know, close to 300 pages of art that he's completed. And plus, he's doing a wraparound cover for this. So we're going to do, appreciate that, COVID Kev. He's going to do an art auction and auction off stuff of, some, all different kind of ranges, different types of pages, some of the favorite pages, the wraparounds. And I think the thought process is to let people that are signed up on the list get into the auction early. So it's not quite as much, kind of competition for some of the stuff. But yeah, that's about it. At the end of the day, just want to try and get stuff into people's hands. Magna is fulfilling now. So, you can get yourself one of these 3 covers. They're still available.
Show us that one more time.
So these are the 3 cover options for Magna. Magna is basically 3 issues. So you get 66 pages of story plus some additional artwork that gets you to 76 pages in total for the graphic novel.
So those books look great. I'm sure Black Tiger is going to look great. This, every campaign you do looks so high quality and just impressive generally. So guys, that's Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The link is in the description below. And where can people find you online?
So you can find me at Beyond Time Inc. on Twitter, on YouTube, though I don't post that often on YouTube, but I do have some stuff that you may like to watch. I've got like a 20-minute video for Black Tiger that we did back in 2014. It stars Robin Shue from the original Mortal Kombat, and it has Angela Fong, who's a WWE diva, and got some other things on there that I think that are fun to watch. And you can also find me on Instagram at Beyond Time Inc. as well.
Okay. Very cool, dude. Let me we've had quite a good chat this episode. I just gotta go. I've noticed some particularly noticeable comments, if I can find them. We've got to say thank you to Dave, who he is the best guy you want to watch your streams because he's always posting links and all that. But also he's taking up the task. He's going to learn how to code and do game design, and then he's going to make that game for us.
All right, we're waiting on you, Dave. No pressure.
A lot of pressure. Where is my game, Dave? Infinity Comics. About half an hour ago, he said he's live on Red Valkyrie show in 30 minutes. So that would be in about 15 minutes time now. So go check that out, guys. I was on Red Valkyrie show a couple nights ago at stupid o'clock in the morning. So I can't wait to go back on that show at a normal time when I'm not sleep. And I was really glad Red Valkyrie liked the look of my book and my characters because I want to see her dressing up as, doing her cosplay.
Oh yeah, their shows she'll dress up, man. So that'll be great. I got to come to see that.
Yeah, sure. Infinity also says his characters already exist in my universe. Drops Mike. Cool. So you have no excuse not to do a Columns Taylor's crossover with me now.
Boom.
And yeah, one more thing. He says and then I want to say COC. There are 6 locations, 44 pages, and Dave gets confused as to what that is. And
it's Columns of Creation. That's the name of it. You have
chosen the worst 3 words to use in your title to make
it's Columns of Creation.
He's really lucky there is not a 4th word beginning with a K.
There you go.
Dude, this book looks great. Links for everyone. There's one in the description. There's one in the live chat now. Thank you, Dave, for doing that. Oh, Paulus Archer showed up. How you doing, dude? Thanks for catching us.
Yes, sir.
Right, I'm going to take this off the screen, and Dave's reminded me to talk about my own book, Taylor. And again, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons today. Let me share my screen really quick and tell you all about my awesome book, The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space. So this is the complete Taylor's Collected Edition, and you will get everything that there's ever been of my wonderful character Taylor, all in one beautiful book for the first time ever. And sign up, guys. Sign up now. We're doing really well on the sign-ups. I'm going to keep you updated via email on the campaign, and I'm also, when you sign up, you'll be receiving this beautiful free trading card and poster with artwork by Chubb, the guy who created Mary Boys. So get excited for that, guys. It looks really good. I'll show you in 1 second. So this really is the book for fans of classic Saturday morning cartoons like the Thundercats, Transformers, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You're going to get 6 short episodic installments of Taylor, different episodes in the life of Taylor, saving the galaxy from superpowered bad guys, and you know, just general Saturday morning, light-hearted sci-fi action. It's you know, it's something for everyone in this book. Different genres in each different mini comic. You're gonna enjoy it, and yeah, we're gonna have this massive bonus section in the book where you're gonna see the complete evolution of Taylor. On top of that, you're gonna see all the fan arts. You're gonna see all the workings, all the stories, thumbnail ideas, absolutely everything that went into creating Taylor is going to be in that bonus material section. And yeah, like I said earlier, that sign-up perk, that lovely sign-up perk, I can't wait to get these trading cards in your hands because they're going to look beautiful. The artwork looks beautiful. And remember, guys, if you want this artwork by Mary Boy's legend Chubb, sign up because it'll be featured nowhere else on the campaign. This is the one place to get it. Make sure you get your hands on it.
Don't miss out. Don't be a chump.
Oh,
because
exactly.
if you do, you're going to be crying, but I'm going to be laughing because I'm getting mine. I'm already signed up.
Exactly, dude. Thank you for signing up. Let me say, this will be one of 3 trading cards that will be on the campaign, and it is exclusive, like I said, to the sign-up tier. But we have another exclusive card, exclusive to the featured tier. So if you back the featured tier on my campaign, which I'll be announcing shortly what's involved in that, you'll be getting this beautiful Preston Acevedo trading card. So, yeah, this is just the sketch. He's going to paint it up all nice and lovely the way he does. It's going to have that classic Preston Acevedo look.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Is that his squad behind him?
Oh, yeah. This is Jet. This is, Taylor with Jet, the bird behind him, and Adelaide, the Phoenix. So, yeah, do you know what else was really impressive?
That's awesome.
Yeah, Preston did this with, like, next to nothing in the way of reference material. He just sort of remembered from the time I went on his show and checked out my Instagram, but there's not a whole lot of like costume details or anything on my Instagram. So he just did this from memory essentially, and he absolutely nailed it.
That dude's amazing.
Oh yeah. He is a really good artist. See, the thing is, all the trading cards on this campaign will be done by other artists, not myself, whereas everything else in the book is done by myself.
Nice.
So that's like number 1, a time saver for me. But number 2, these are all my favorite artists in CG that are doing these trading cards. I have one more to announce, and it's because I'm a fan of these guys and I want to see my character in their styles. So yeah, guys, sign up, get that exclusive Chubb trading card, and then back the featured tier, you'll get the exclusive Preston card. You know what? Sign up and back both exclusive cards, and there is one more to follow. Remember, guys, we got that special unlockable 7th mini comic, which is going to take our page count to over 50 pages of story alone. and
Nice.
will be a prelude book to the first full-size Tailless issue, which will be my next project. So don't miss out on this, guys. Everything Tailless in one beautiful collected edition for the first time ever. That is The Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space, only on Indiegogo. Again, guys, links in the description. Dave threw one in the chat. Check it out. And guys, let me mention again before we close out. Magna Last Pantheon is on In Demand. You'll be closing out soon, though, on In Demand, right?
That's correct. The commission will be closing in the next few days, and within 2 weeks, this whole thing will be shut down.
Cool, cool. Guys, get on it while you have a chance. Don't wait on this one. And then we got Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon. When was this launching again? Remind me.
On the 18th of May.
18th of May.
Let's
cool.
do it. Woohoo!
Cool. I'm gonna sign up, guys. Make sure you sign up. Stay up to date with this campaign. It looks amazing. Artwork looks amazing. If you want badass kung fu ladies, you've come to the right place. This looks great. Let me just check the chat quick. Speaking of Saturday morning cartoons, I watched Sonic movie earlier today, and it was surprisingly good. Nice one. I do like how they revised it. You know, when the trailer came out, and then they got so much negative feedback, they had to redo the CGI and all that. That is what good creators do. Bonus section, yes, indeed. We will have a beautiful bonus section in my Taylor.
As you should.
Does Cock have a bonus section? See, that's a good question. Preston is so good. Indeed, he is, my friend.
That's facts.
And you know what? Yeah, you know what? With that, we're going to close out the show. John, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Bye.